In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create 5 popular animations you often see in modern websites using Framer in under 10 minutes. Let's jump in. Let's start with the first one, a hero text animation, which is extremely popular in landing pages. These animations help grab the visitor's attention immediately when the page loads, and they are extremely easy to create. The first thing we need to do is select the element we want to animate, which in this case is our large heading. Once the heading is selected, we go over to the effects section in the right properties panel. Here, click the plus icon to add a new effect. Now Framer gives us several animation options to choose from. We have text, appear, hover, press, loop, drag, and scroll. Since we want to animate the text itself, we'll choose the text effect. This effect is very powerful because it allows us to animate characters, words, or entire sentences, which makes it really easy to create beautiful hero animations in just a few seconds. As soon as we add it, this text effect panel appears, and this is where we can configure the animation. Let's start with the trigger. For the trigger, we are going to choose an appear. So what does this mean? It means the animation will start as soon as the page loads. You can use other triggers as well, but since this is the hero section, we usually want the animation to start immediately when the visitor lands on the page. Next, we have presets. Framer provides several presets like blur, flip, shake, and others, and you can quickly preview them here. Personally, I often use blur because it creates a very clean and elegant effect. Now below that, we have 4 animation options. This basically controls how the animation is applied. For example, we can animate each letter individually or animate entire words. In this case, I prefer per character because it usually looks more dynamic. Next, we can adjust the effect settings. Here, we can modify things like blur amount, opacity, and offset, depending on the type of animation we want. We can also adjust the transition settings to make the animation feel more natural. For example, you can change the easing method or keep it set to spring, which often produces a more realistic motion. Alright, let's preview the animation. It looks good, but it's a bit too fast, right? So let's slow it down slightly. We can do that by adjusting the duration here. I'm going to set it to 1.5 seconds. Now, if we preview it again, that looks much better. And that's how you can quickly create a hero text animation in Framer. Now let's move on to the next animation type. Now that our headline animation is ready, let's take this step further and animate the other elements in our hero section. The goal here is to create a nice sequence of animations. So first, the navigation bar will slide in from the top of the page, and then the supporting text, the CTA button, and the social proof section will slide in from the bottom, one after another. Let's start with the nav bar. First, select the nav bar, then go to the effects section, click the plus icon, and this time we are going to choose appear. For the trigger, we'll keep it set to unappear. Now for the preset, I'm going to choose slide in top because we want the nav bar to come from the top of the screen. To make sure the animation starts outside the viewport, we'll adjust the Y offset. I'm going to set it to -120. Now let's preview it. Alright, it looks good, but it's a bit too fast. So let's slow it down by adjusting the duration. I'm going to set it to 1.5 seconds. Now, if we preview it again, yes, that looks much smoother. Next, let's animate the supporting text. Select the text, add a new effect, and again choose appear. But this time, the preset will be sliding bottom because we want the text to move upwards. Now let's adjust the Y offset to 40 and again set the duration to 1.5 seconds. Alright, that looks good. But there is a small problem. Right now, all the animations play at the same time, which doesn't look very polished. What we want instead is a sequence where each element appears one after another. So since we want this element to appear after the headline animation, we can add a delay. I'm going to add a 1.5 second delay right here. Now let's preview it again. There we go. Look how smooth and clean that feels. Now what about the other elements? Instead of recreating the animation from scratch, we can simply copy this effect. Right click here and select copy effect. Then select the CTA button and paste the effect. And do the same for the social proof section. Now the only thing we need to do is increase the delay slightly for each element, so they appear one after another. Now let's preview the page again. Perfect. Now our hero section feels much more dynamic and polished. And that's how you can create sequential unappear animations in Framer. Now let's move on to the next animation type, scroll animations. Here is what we want to achieve. I want this image to animate while I'm scrolling. And more importantly, the progress of the animation should be controlled by the scroll itself. So the animation moves as I scroll down the page. Let's start by selecting the image. Then go to the effects section, click the plus icon, and this time we are going to add a scroll effect. Now here we actually have different options, and it's important to understand the difference. If you choose scroll animation, the animation will simply play once when the element appears. But the problem is that we cannot control the animation progress with the scroll. So instead, we are going to use scroll transform. This option allows the animation to be directly connected to the user's scroll position. By default, the trigger is set to unscroll, which is exactly what we want for now. Below that, we have two important properties, from and to. These define the starting point and the ending point of the animation. Let's configure the starting state first. For the from state, the opacity will remain 100% and the scale will stay at 1. The only property we are going to change here is the rotation. I'll switch it to 3D rotation and set the x-axis to 40 degrees. But if you look closely, something is missing. We don't really see the 3D perspective distortion yet. So how can we fix that? It's actually very simple. Go to the transform section, click the plus icon, and add perspective. Now, if we keep the X rotation at 40, you'll notice that we finally get that nice 3D perspective effect. Next, we define the end state of the animation. So in the to property, we'll simply set the X rotation to 0. This means that while we scroll, the image will rotate forward into its natural position. To make the animation smoother, we can also enable a spring transition. Alright, let's preview it. Now as I scroll, you can see the image gradually rotates, which creates this really nice interactive effect. However, there is one small issue. Right now, the scroll animation starts at the top of the page and ends at the very bottom of the page, which means the animation won't fully complete while we're inside this section. To fix this, we need to change the trigger behavior. Instead of using the entire page scroll, we'll switch the trigger to section in view. But first, we need to create a scroll section. You can do that by going to the scroll section property and giving it a name. That's it. Now we can go back to our image, select section in view, and choose the section we just created. Let's preview it again. Now you can see the difference. The animation starts as soon as this section enters the viewport and finishes exactly when we reach the end of this section. It's much better, isn't it? Alright, now let's move on to the next type of animation. Now let's create a parallax animation. So what exactly is parallax? In simple terms, parallax is an effect where different elements move at different speeds while you scroll. This creates a sense of depth, almost like some elements are closer to you and others are farther away. You often see this effect in modern landing pages because it makes the scrolling experience feel more dynamic and interactive. Now let's see how we can create it in Framer. As you can see here, we have two images. What we want to achieve is simple. While we scroll, the left image should move faster than the right one. When elements move at different speeds, we automatically get that parallax effect. So let's start with the left image. Select the image, go to the effects section, click the plus icon, and add a scroll effect. This time we are going to choose scroll speed. By default, most elements move at 100% scroll speed, which means they move exactly with the page. But if we increase the speed, the element will move faster than the rest of the page. So for this image, I'm going to set the speed to 130%, for instance. Now let's do something similar for the right image. Select it, add a scroll speed effect, and this time we'll set it to 110%. So now we have two elements moving at different speeds. Let's preview the page. And there it is. As you can see, the images move at slightly different speeds, which creates a really nice parallax effect while scrolling. Now let's create another type of animation called scroll variant. This one is very powerful, especially when you're working with components and variants. Let me show you the idea. Here we already have a component with two variants. For example, when we hover over the first variant, the component animates to the second variant. Setting this up is quite simple. All you need to do is create two variants inside your component, then add an interaction, choose your trigger type, and define the animation between the variants. Once that's done, you'll have an animated component that you can use anywhere in your page. But now the question is, how can we trigger this animation while scrolling? What we want to achieve here is this. As soon as the user reaches this section, the button should automatically animate to the second variant. So here is how we can do it. First, select the section element and add a section identifier to it. This basically allows Framer to understand which section should control the scroll animation. Next, select the button component, go to the effects section, click the plus icon, and this time choose scroll variant. Now we need to configure the trigger. For the trigger, change it to section in view. Then, for the section, select the section we just created. And finally, for the destination, choose variant 2. Alright, let's preview the project. Now when I scroll down the page and reach this section, you can see that the button automatically animates to the second variant. Very nice. This type of animation is especially useful for touch devices like tablets and mobile phones, because on those devices, we don't have hover interactions. So scroll-based animations like this can help you replace hover effects and still create engaging interactions. If you want to learn more about Framer, make sure to check out this video right here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more Framer tutorials. Have a beautiful day and see you next time.